What is going on, guys? We have some very good news coming your way. Killian Tillie, former Gonzaga standout star, has got signed after going undrafted last night. I watched the entire 3-hour draft praying Killian Tillie would get drafted, and I really thought he was going to. Every single mock draft I looked at, Killian Tillie, right around the 49 range. I saw from 42 all the way down to 55. So I expected Killian Tillie to get drafted last night. I really did. I'm going to admit it. I expected Killian Tillie to get drafted. Now he did not end up getting drafted. So here we are. And I was like, oh no, he didn't get drafted. But almost immediately, almost as soon as that draft is over, I just saw it right now. He signed a 2-way contract with the Memphis Grizzlies with one of his old teammates, Brandon Clark, another former Zag. This is only the second time this has ever well, not ever, but second time in recent years that a Gonzaga player has played on a team with another Gonzaga player. And I'm counting since when David Stockton started playing in the NBA. From then on, that's what I consider recent years because that's when I started watching. The only other time it has happened, actually no, correction, third time. The only other 2 times it has happened is they both were this season when Jonathan Williams and Rui Hachimura were both on the Washington Wizards this year for a good portion of this season, playing on the Washington Wizards together. Obviously, Rui Hachimura being a starter, being the 9th overall pick from last year's draft, and Jonathan Williams being an undrafted free agent that the Lakers picked up and then the Wizards signed this year. And the only other time besides that one that it's happened in recent years is for 10-day contract. This season, the Golden State Warriors signed 2 Gonzaga players to 10-day contracts. They didn't follow up on either of them. And the 2 players were Zach Norvell Jr., an undrafted player picked up by the Lakers that ended up getting waived so they could sign Devontae Kickock, and Jeremy Pargo, who is the only player ever to get out of the NBA, play in the Big Three, and then make it back and play in the NBA. First player ever, only player ever. Because it looked like Joe Johnson was going to do it. He was a Big Three guy. He got signed by the Pistons last training camp, but then never played a game for them and got waived really quickly. So Jeremy Parker was the only player ever to come out of the Big Three and play NBA basketball. So those are the only 2 times, and now this is the 3rd time that has happened in recent years. I really like this team for him. I feel like it's kind of a perfect team for him. It's a younger team. Killian Tillie is towards his mid-20s already because he spent 5 years at Gonzaga, so he's probably 24, 25, 23, somewhere around that range. So he was an older rookie. Part of the reason he went undrafted, he also has a lot of injuries. Back injuries, leg injuries. He gets a ton of injuries, a lot of back injuries, though, in particular. And he is not the fastest player defensively either. So, Grizzlies fan, this isn't I don't think this is really your diamond in the rough like Brandon Clark was. Brandon Clark, steal of the draft last year. No doubt in my mind. I don't think you consider Kendrick Nunn because he went undrafted. And he went undrafted the year before, too. So, I don't really think you count him. Brandon Clark, steal of the draft. No doubt. I guess you can consider Tyler Hero, but he was still a lottery pick. Brandon Clark was the 22nd pick. And look how good he was. First team all-rookie. Summer League MVP. Led the Grizzlies to win the Summer League championship without Jaren Jackson Jr. and without Ja Morant. really, really impressive for him to be able to do that. And now we got his new teammate, Killian Tillie, on a two-way contract. So that means he'll play half his time in the G League, half his time on the Grizzlies. So basically, what Zach Norvell was on for the Lakers, what Jonathan Williams was on for the Lakers, what Kostas Antetokounmpo this year was on for the Lakers, what Devontae Kakau goes on for this year for the Lakers. And then there's a ton of other players. I think Nigel Williams-Goss might have been on one. I'm not 100% positive on that, though. What Kyle Wilcher was on when he was on the Rockets for that one season, that one very long season, it felt like. He was there for quite a while. And how many NBA players, if they all stay in the league, does this make for Gonzaga now? So we got, from the Heat, we got Kelly Olynyk. From the Pacers, we got Domantas Sabonis. The Grizzlies, we got Killian Tillie and Brandon Clark. The Wizards, we got Rui Hachimura and Jonathan Williams. Jazz, we got Nigel Williams-Goss. The Trailblazers, we got Zach Collins. And I really believe that's it. I think there's 8 of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's only 8 of them. Gorgie Dieng, or Dang, or Gorgie, I think it's Dieng. Of the, what team is he on now? The Timberwolves, the Grizzlies. He's on one of those teams right now. I think he's on the Timberwolves. He committed to Gonzaga originally before he went to the NBA. So that is another player that's not a Zag, but was almost a Gonzaga player. So he actually committed to Gonzaga before. I don't remember what he did. If he just went straight to the NBA or if he went overseas or what he did. But he was a Gonzaga commit, but didn't end up playing for them. So we would have 8 NBA players from Gonzaga next year, and I could definitely see Zach Norvell getting signed by somebody. So that would bring it up to 9. I don't think Jeremy Pargo is going to get signed by anybody, but maybe like Josh Perkins, we could get the double digits, which has never, ever happened in recent years for me. And I don't think it's probably ever happened, ever. 10 current Gonzaga NBA players. But we have had 8 in this. Well, actually 9 is the most ever with when those 2 10-day contracts kicked in for Jeremy Pargo and Zach Norvell Jr. So if we could just get it up to 10, that would be a new record. That would be crazy. And I see it happening next year. I don't see it happening this year because he's Tillie's the only one that's going to make it to the NBA brand new, besides maybe Josh Perkins this year. If Josh Perkins keeps putting in the work, which I think he definitely has the potential to do. And I really hope he does, because he did end up getting signed with the Hornets last year before them waiving him, which happens with plenty of players around the league. But next year, whew, Jalen Suggs, I looked at the 2021 mock draft already. I know it's early, but he's predicted to go 10th overall, which is the same as what Zach Collins went, I'm pretty sure. Rui went 9. So a lot of Gonzaga players have gone in that area. Sabonis, I believe, went 11. Clark went 22. Those are all the first-round picks in recent years. Olynyk, I think, went like 13, somewhere around there. I think he went in the lottery. Maybe he went 9. I don't really know. He went somewhere in the lottery, I'm pretty sure. But that was, I wouldn't really consider when he got drafted recent years. So it's kind of been a while. It was like 2013 or something. And I was not watching basketball really that much before he was like in the NBA. When he's at Gonzaga, I never watched him or anything. I wasn't into it yet, and I was too young. But we're going to have Drew Timme could possibly get drafted. I could see him taking a big step. You never know. Philip Petrusev might have just taken this deal just because he didn't know how COVID was going to work and he wanted some guaranteed money. Grab the bag. I saw him congratulating a player from wherever he's playing right now, like Slovenia or whatever, wherever he is. Dude, why can I not remember where he's from? Anyway, Serbia. So he was congratulating them. So maybe next year he will. He was on the mock draft as well. So he could he could be like, look, I'm ready to come in the NBA now. I got some more experience. I got a bag. Now I'm ready to make my name in the NBA. So that's 2 right there, and Jalen Suggs. So that's 3 right there. Drew Timme was not on the mock draft, by the way, but I think he's very underlooked. He made the watch list. There's 4 Gonzaga players, which is the most in the nation, to make the watch list, preseason watch list thing for the college basketball, which makes sense because they're the number 1 ranked team in the country. And then another player, Corey Kispert, who was on the mock draft. Very, very good player. We've never in recent years, or I don't think we ever have, maybe a long time ago when there was a billion picks in the draft, because now there's only 60 and there used to be like hundreds. I don't think, even back then, I don't even think there's ever been 3 Gonzaga players selected in the same draft. There's only been 2 twice in recent years that I can think of, and that is Rui Hachimura and Brandon Clark, both getting selected in the first round. And I thought Zach Norvell had a chance, which he did have a chance, but he didn't end up getting drafted. So that's one of them. And the other one was Zach Collins and Nigel Williams-Goss. Nigel Williams-Goss barely getting drafted with the 55th pick. So he almost didn't get drafted, but he did. And then he didn't get a contract until a couple years later, because he was just a rookie this season that just ended, even though the season's starting really soon because we just had the draft. But I could see 3 players for sure, even more, because we have Joel Ayayi, another player that made the watch list. So it was Timme, Ayayi, Kispert, and Suggs that all made the preseason watch list. And Timme showed some spurts of absolute amazingness. Like, he could be something special. He could definitely be a really great player for us, and definitely could make it to the NBA, definitely, if he keeps going up and up like he is. And then Jalen Suggs obviously will probably be a one and done. Probably. Unless he really likes Gonzaga or he has an off year. But I think he'll probably be a one and done. Bring us that national championship that we've so desperately wanted, and then he'll be gone. I would be perfectly fine with that. I'd be perfectly fine with that. Brings us a good year, then he's gone. I'm 100% okay with that. And then Joel Ayayi, obviously, very good. I think is really, really high upside. Like, really, really high upside. I have just this past year started to like Joel Ayayi's game a lot. He's probably a project. Probably it will take some time to develop even more. But I think he has very, very high upside, and I'm very excited to see what he can do this year for us. Kispert, we kind of know what he is. But he can improve more. He's going to leave. He said, him and Ayayi both said this is their last season. So I'm excited. If you like this signing, let me know in the comment section below. If you're a Grizzlies fan, if you're a Gonzaga fan, let me know at all. Like the video if you haven't already, which you should have already. I shouldn't even have to tell you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Set those post notifications to all.